I'm going to show you how top agents win, and they win with high note. Um, and yeah, market appreciation is slowing down, and so are listings. Yes, it is. We need those rates to drop. We need some change in the housing market, but in the meantime, we need to slog it through, um, and get through this time and market. And the ones that win are the grinders. They're the ones that have the best systems. They have the best sales processes, and they have the best presentations. And I'm going to show you what we did and what Highnote can do for you and why it works. And we're going to talk about these things: how to double your impact, why sending a great presentation before and after is an easy way to give you a competitive edge, how you need to stand out from the competition. That's obvious, but doing it with your sales presentations is not so obvious. But I'm going to show you how to do that and show you how to maximize every single lead. Leads are few and far between now. You can't sort of let any lead just fall by the wayside. You have to take advantage. There's less leads. Agents are competing for fewer leads, fewer sellers, fewer buyers. So you need to increase your close rate if you want to make the same amount of business and same level of income. So, um, this should be a kind of a wake-up call for any agent that wants to stay in the business and make the same amount as last year, to not F around with your leads and make sure you win every single one. And that's what we did, and I'm going to explain more. If you stay to the end, you get this shortcut. It's a guide: winning more listings and more buyers. We wrote it up, and it works. And if you implement these things, we will guarantee you're going to win more buyers and listings. And listen, a little background about me: I'm a real estate agent just like you. I was the number 2 condo agent in San Francisco, and it's a very competitive market. I started a brokerage called Climb Real Estate, and with Chris Lim. I saw some Remax people on this call, and Chris is head of growth at Remax today. We're very proud of him. But before that, we had started Climb together, and we sold Climb to Realogy. And our technology, our ethos, our DNA, Realogy felt like they needed it, and they were going to franchise our brokerage around the country. After we sold Climb to Realogy, I said, I cannot work for this big company. I need to be an entrepreneur again. So I started Highnote. And, bottom line is, we figured out the cheat code, we figured out the hack, we figured out the secret to teaching, uh, to helping agents win and how you win deals. And I'm going to share that with you today. And it's why I built Highnote and what Highnote is for. It's to help agents win. And all right, let me give you a little perspective. As you know, we are in a 30-year low in transactions. These are the number of home sales in the US. I got into the business here when it was super hot and frothy, and then it plummeted to this level during the Great Recession. And short sales were the norm. Buyers disappeared. Sellers went bankrupt or lost their homes. But the number of transactions were at a dismal low. And that's roughly where we are today, if not worse. So, and it's a weird market out there for most of the country. Sellers are locked into their mortgages. They don't want to sell because they don't want to give up their low rate. So that causes low inventory, and then rates are higher. So buyers are more reluctant to buy. Um, and so it creates this, really low inventory, low transaction situation. But it also makes prices increase. in a lot of places because there's so low inventory. So it's a really strange market. I don't think we've seen anything like this. And it only was caused because we had low interest rates for so long, followed by a very steep increase in interest rates in such a quick amount of time. Now, whether you love him or hate him, Trump, he's trying to get the rates lowered. But from a real estate agent perspective and real estate software provider, I hope rates go down. Now it could cause other problems, but from a real estate industry perspective, I hope rates do go down. So anyway, this is where we're at. Less transactions. And this is where we started our brokerage. And I'm showing this to you because just trying to ground you know uh, my experience a little bit. This is where we came from, very humble beginnings, and we were able to grow into a fantastic brokerage and organization, mainly because of our selling. We won so many listings and buyers. We were top 250 brokerage in the US, about $1 billion in volume, 110 agents. Adjusted for today's dollars, that's around 2 billion. And we were shooting up the ranks. Now, how did we do that? Nobody knew who we were, and we were beginners. Well, in the beginning, we weren't the top agents. You don't just become a top agent from start. You have to build it. And we weren't around for decades. We weren't the most experienced, and we hadn't been around for a century. So when you go into a listing presentation, we are always at a disadvantage. Nobody knew who we were. Nobody knew who we were as agents, and we were younger, and we were less experienced than the competition. So, we had this chip on our shoulder, and we had to compensate. And so, how we always ask ourselves, how do we beat these top producers? How do we beat these top producers? Unless you're a top producer on this call, you're probably asking the same thing. How do we beat the other agents? And well, you could sell more, but that's not going to happen overnight. You could do more marketing, but that's not going to happen overnight either. Or you could go in with a stunning, stunning presentation. And that's ultimately how you have to do it. And high note is the answer. But the answer from a high level is you have to look like a top producer. And you need to have a presentation that is top notch and what top producers use. My experience is that top producers do not let anything to chance. They do not leave anything to chance. They are great at all aspects of their business. Marketing, sales, they're great salespeople, they're professional, they look good, they dress well, they're on top of their game, they know the market, they know all of the paperwork, the transaction, intricacies, they have all the top resources to help their clients, and they have the best presentations because they go for it. They're A+ players. So you need to be an A+ player, an A player, and have a great, great presentation. Now, when you're armed with a great presentation, we find that agents win more. And that's the general experience with Highnote. That's what Highnote is. It's a great online digital presentation, and you're going to win more, much more. What makes it great? Well, it's gorgeous and visual, informative. You're going to be on brand and highly personalized. That's in general what great presentations are. And as a result, our agents were more professional, built trust faster, and stood out and won. And, to reiterate, having the best presentation turned our agents at Climb into top producers. And we minted quite a few of them. And now I'm going to talk about the sales appointment. This could apply to buyers and sellers, your buyer presentation or your listing presentation. This is the general process. The lead finds you, you have an initial email or phone call, you have an in-person meeting, you have a follow-up meeting, and then you have a close. And this is the same process for any sales appointment in any industry. Now, what we do and what you should do in today's age is send an incredible digital presentation. And I don't mean just a PDF. I mean an online PDF, I mean an online experience that is going to knock their socks off. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. And then you have your in-person meeting. So imagine this. They get this amazing knock your socks off presentation, which is basically a high note. They're impressed and they're ready to see you. You have the in-person meeting. How do you think they're going to feel when they meet you? And you've sent them something that's much better and differentiated than the competition. Your in-person meeting is going to go smoother, and they're going to have a positive experience around you, and you're going to win much more. So your in-person meeting, the success of that not only is based on what you say at that meeting, but it's also what you do before the meeting. So you send something incredible before, you have the meeting, and then there's always follow-up that has to happen after a meeting, right? I mean, sometimes you win the deal right at the meeting, which is great, listings and buyers, but not all the time. And so you have follow-up. They have questions. They need to understand things better. They need to feel comfortable with you and trust you. So after that, you need to close. And the way you close is you send another stunning digital interactive high note presentation to win. And this is a proven formula. It's a little known secret in the industry, but it's how you win more buyers and sellers and how you convert every single lead. The other way to look at it is you break up your sales appointment into thirds. There's a pre-sale, which is your pre-listing listing presentation you send or something you send for the pre-buyer meeting. You have an in-person meeting, and then you have a follow-up. And so what we are asking you to do is go above and beyond what other agents do. And um, why? Because you want to be a top agent, and that's what top agents do. They go above and beyond what others do. All right. So here's an example of Chris Lim, head of growth at Remax, and he's head of growth for a reason because he invented this process, and he invented this process, and a lot of these presentations are based on his science and technology and his sales acumen. Now, this is a pre-listing presentation that we developed, and it's about you. And to start, right? They don't know who you are, so you need to give a nice introduction as to who you are to build a relationship digitally. Include a video.
I'm Chris Lim, and I'm the founder of Climb Real Estate. I don't know what my favorite neighbor.
Include a video. Include a picture of you, a link to a bio, something about your team, and the power of your brokerage, right? This is an exact replica of presentations we use back in the day, and it's still relevant today. Still the best pre-listing presentation on the market today. And you want to talk about your brokerage, why your brokerage, your expertise, what makes your brokerage so good in the area. And then you want to talk about some of your services that are differentiated. Why you as an agent? Don't talk about what you do as an agent, but why are you better as an agent? So find services that you can do that are unique to you. And something that you can do that you can claim is something that you only you can provide. In our case, we had an interior design team in our with our group. Right now, if you don't have something that's going to be exceptionally different than what other agents do, you need to find something because that's ultimately how you're going to differentiate yourself and win, right? Is it you do better video, you do more, you have a better social media presence, you have a bigger network, whatever it is, you need to really, really lean into it and differentiate yourself here. Now, the next few slides are housing, like what are the listings and sales that you have that are most similar to the sellers? And you want to show those here. to showcase that, hey, you have experience selling those types of homes that you're going after. Neighborhood validation. Make sure you say something about the neighborhood that you are targeting and selling in, where the seller's home is, so that they feel comfortable that you know the neighborhood and have experience in it. Then you want to get into some generic stuff, explanations about the timelines, marketing timeline, and there's a planning phase, advisory phase, off-market prep, listing goes on the market, etc. And then what happens when an offer is accepted? This is the process of what happens when an offer accepted. And these are included in our templates for free, and you can include them easily. Now, remember how I said every great presentation is personalized? It's very hard to do at scale until you have a tool like Highnote. Now, what you should do and recommended, and what we do in San Francisco Bay Area, is we do a tax record search so that we can come prepared to talking about the details of the home, and details like square footage, lot size, who owns the home, bedroom, bathroom count, when was the last sale. We show things like who the owners are, any other things like liens, etc. And it shows that you did some research. It is a great topic of conversation when you talk, because you want to show what's in the tax records and issues you need to address, like maybe incorrect bathroom count, incorrect bedroom count, incorrect square footage count, and then owners. You want to confirm who the owners are and make sure you address them and they're at the meeting, right? Very often you go to a meeting and you realize there's only one person at the meeting, and then there's a second owner that you need to really make sure they're involved as well. What's the value of your home? Well, never, ever send this before the meeting. And I don't recommend it because you could mess up. You can have the wrong value or come up with a wrong valuation of the home and send the wrong value over beforehand. And what happens when you send the wrong value over? Especially if it's too low relative to what the seller thinks their home is worth. Well, you just shot yourself in the foot. And you are almost most likely going to be losing this listing presentation if you're telling them that the value of their home is less than what they think it is. Now, so you need to show up at the meeting and say, I need to see your home first. And you also need to learn what the seller thinks their home is worth, so that you can figure out how to talk them down or to land the correct valuation with them, and not think it's you just lowballing the valuation. They already think that agents just want a quick commission and they just want to sell it, but they're looking for the agent that's going to get them the highest price, right? And so you need to make sure that you are going to be delivering the best price and the highest price, and not something way below their expectations. So do not send this CMA beforehand until you see the home, you see the condition, you see the views, you see where the lot is, you see the curb appeal, and you speak to the owner. Don't do it. What else? NAR commission lawsuit. You want to talk about what happened, uh, because it was all over the news and everyone has a different understanding of it. Everyone just thinks commissions are going to be lower. And they need to understand, well, not exactly. Just how agents are paid has changed. And this is what has happened, right? So explain to them, because they just think they're going to be paying less. And that is not necessarily true. Then you also want to include a sample listing agreement. Why do you do that? Well, it's a sign of strength. It's called a presumptive or assumptive clause, and it's sending a contract ahead of time. Also, if you send this contract, your listing agreement ahead of time, it with Highnote, you can you can see if they're reading it or not. And because that's what Highnote does, it helps you it gives you analytics and it shows you what things are being read, when, and how long. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a little bit. But if you see that people, the clients you're meeting are reading the listing agreement and they're spending a lot of time in it, guess what? You have a very solid seller who's thinking about listing with you already. So send it with a high note. Don't just send an email and attachments. And then testimonials. Put your testimonials in here, obviously, and then back to you. Why you again? So this tells a story. Every presentation tells a story, just like an essay or any story. There needs to be an intro and a conclusion. And the intro is about you, your team, your brokerage, why you and your team and brokerage, your experience, right? Your brokerage experience, how a sale happens, what I do for you, your home, specifics about your home, what's the value of your home. I'm going to tell you after our meeting, and then how you get paid, NAR lawsuit, commission lawsuit, plus your listing agreement, your testimonials again, and it ends with why you. This is the best pre-listing presentation out there. I'll put it up against anyone's, and this is what wins today. I'm going to pause for questions. Does anyone have any questions about this? What do people think about this? Do people send something similar to this? Do you have something similar to this or not? Can this be you? Can you see how sending something like this before the listing presentation is going to help you win more? I want to see your chat, messages in the chat. And then as we do that, I am going to give you an example of how this works. And don't be shy. People tell me what's going on in the chat here. And what do you think of that listing presentation? All right, let me share this with you. So this is a listing presentation, a pre-listing presentation that we have here in my system. And I'm going to demo this presentation to you and demo the analytics to you right now. And what I do is I just share a link to you, and I'm going to name the link. And I'm going to require an email to view just so I know who's opening it in this call. And I'm going to send it in the chat right now. Okay. And click on that link. Okay. And I'm going to show you how and what the power and the magic is of our presentations. Um, and so everyone click on that link. Let's see. Great. We have a Corcoran agent, Pat Noop is opening that. Fantastic. Jax in Colorado. Fentner at Gmail. Rebecca at realtorrebecca.com. And you're opening it right now and checking it out. And I'm going to show you what you're reading. Now, if you see my screen, I could see Rebecca. She opened up get to know agent name. Now, and you've spent, you're only up one time and you're on a desktop or laptop on a Chrome browser. Let's see what else. Click on some sections, scroll through it. Fentner, she looked at the agent video and she actually gave me some feedback. Amazing presentation. Thank you. And looked at team, etc. All right, keep on looking at it, keep on interacting with it. I have C Sanchez at C21. Looked at marketing timeline for 5 seconds. Okay. I'm going to scroll down some more. Rebecca, she looked at the power of my brokerage, checked out 4 of the 7 pages, my operational team, and get to know agent names. So imagine having this information before you're going on a listing presentation. It's a killer to have this information. I know what you're interested in. I know what you're not interested in. I know what to focus in on in the meeting, and it wins deals. Um, we have so many agents who use these analytics to understand what their sellers are reading, what they're doing, and they're armed with better information and able to close more business as a result. Now, um, I'll give you an example. Kyle Whistle, he's a famous EXP agent, the #1 team in EXP in the world. He went on a listing presentation for a $3 million listing in San Diego. His average sales price point is 600,000. And so he fell out of his league. And guess what? He also found out he was up against the number one luxury agent in San Diego in that area. So he felt a little bit outclassed in some way or behind the eight ball. He sent his listing presentation with Highnote out. He sent his pre-listing presentation out. In his pre-listing presentation has a couple videos. And what he found out was that the seller only looked at the videos, clicked on that's it. And he said, well, that's strange. He only looked at the videos. Okay, I know that he's interested in videos. I'm going to be prepared to talk about videos when I show up. And that's what he did. He focused on his video production and marketing capabilities. And he finds out that the seller is a video engineer. He works in video production. He had a like a studio for producing videos as well. And so allowing him that those analytics in Highnote allowed him to key in on the seller interest. And guess what? He won that $3 million listing, and he credits Highnote for all of that as well. So I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to talk about now the follow-up presentation. You do your listing presentation. You didn't close it at the listing presentation. Why? Because they have questions. They want to know about you. They have some doubts, etc. So, or you need to follow up on evaluation for the home. So what you should do is go for it and use Highnote to do that. You don't send one, you send two presentations. And the second one is the follow-up. And here's what a follow-up would look like. Oh, thank you for the opportunity to provide my broker price opinion on the sale of your home. And here's what we did. Walkthrough observations. There was a walkthrough property assessment. We looked at your home. We looked at these things. I noticed these things, etc. Recommendations. Here's my strategy. Here's what I would recommend. Target demographic. Who is the likely buyer for this home? Is it a family? Is it a single person? Well, who is it? Is it a retiree? Timing. What's the timing of selling your home? Put in some intelligent insights in here because a lot of sellers don't know about the market timings, how they're seasonal. Broker price opinion. This is where you enter your CMA, your comps, your valuation. We have to do them manually. We don't use CMA software because it's too inaccurate in our area. Home values can differ by double just in the same building because you have a different view. And it's such a densely populated city that you have such a mix of different homes in the area. That you very often can't just use CMA software. If you can, that's great. You could put it in here, see if they're looking at it, etc. Or split it out like this. And we use the MLS software because we have to cherry pick things. And what we include are things like, oh, neighborhood sales, all of the sales in the neighborhood, just recent sales, maybe in the last 6 months, most relevant comp. What's the sale that is most like the target property? And then a baseline sale. What sale is like the bare minimum sale for a property in that area? Split that out, include it, and then what's the value of the home? Then show them what the range is for your home, what the valuation could be depending on what they do, if they stage, if they modify or clean up the home, etc. You're gonna get a different price. Online property values. Talk about the online property values. Talk about what Redfin says, what Zillow says, what Realtor.com says, etc. Then talk about dangers of overpricing. They're looking at these values. They want to price it as high. They want as much as possible. Who doesn't? But they don't realize that pricing it too high actually backfires. So you want to really tell them the dangers of overpricing. And then next step, sales and marketing calendar. Uh, here's what we got to do next. Start proceeding, working with them as if you got the listing. Week 1, this is what we're doing. Week 2, etc. Importance of disclosure, okay? Why you need to disclose, etc. Reasons why your home isn't selling, giving them some pitfalls and factors why the home isn't selling. And this way they know ahead of time to not make these mistakes. Summary of your recommendations, listing agreement again. Make sure you send the listing agreement again. and then my team, my testimonials, and why me again. This is the best system out there for winning listings. And you need to have this as well if you want to win listings today. So, again, go for it. It's a listing presentation. You have a listing, it's all or nothing. An average listing can give you $10,000 for a $400,000 sale. So, why would you not do this for $400,000? Because it's going to help you win more. You should do it. And because it's a winner take all game out there. All right. Any questions on that so far? All right. If they're not, I'm going to keep going. So you have, this is you as an agent. You have so many things, and why High Note was born. You have so many things you want to include and send to a seller or a buyer, and PDFs, videos, images, CMAs, testimonials, etc. Today, the state of the art is, or what people do, they try to build a presentation. They're an agent. They're not presentation designer or graphic designer. They try to use these software packages, which are good in some ways, but not good in others. And they're not what a lot of agents need. They're CMA based, they're not super customizable, etc. They turn to their marketing team. Marketing team can't turn it over so quickly. They can't update presentations so quickly. You need it now. And so what do? You give up and you end up sending an email full of links and PDFs and attachments. And guess what the seller sees? They see this junk and it's just like what everyone else sends. And they can't read it, they don't understand it, and it's not a good experience for the seller. So these are the consequences of not having a good presentation. All right. Lost listings and clients, reduced client trust, lower commission potential, reduced referral opportunities, limited differentiation in a competitive market. And guess what? It just got more competitive. You need to find a way to differentiate yourself more. Poor client retention and repeat business, difficulty competing against tech savvy agents. And you need to look tech savvy. Every agent needs to look tech savvy today. Um, and a good presentation is an easy way to get your business up. And you absolutely need one today, and not just a nice PDF. You need that as well, but you need a great digital online interactive one like Highnote. And that's what it is, a next generation real estate sales platform, digital, interactive, and made with AI. Drag and drop, easy to modify things on the fly. You can duplicate, personalize your template, and deliver easily. And your buyer or your listing presentation will stand out and win guaranteed. You're going to get notifications and analytics. You can't get that with an email full of attachments, right? At the very least, most you can maybe see if they opened it, but that's about it. You don't know what they're reading. You don't know what sections they're reading. You don't know how long they spent on it. You don't know what device they're on, right? Read your buyer or seller's mind with real-time notifications and see what, when, how many times it's being read. You will then know how to follow up. Your commission's on the line here, right? If you want to be a top agents don't lose listings and they don't lose buyers. And you need everything in your power to help you win those deals. And so using High Note lets you be a fly on the wall and understand the mind of the buyer and the seller. The agent that understands the mind of the buyer and the seller the best is going to win. And we also have a lot of AI features. We added it 2 years ago when ChatGPT came out. Modify the text. We're adding, we have a new feature where you could build an agent team or brokerage section with AI, and it's incredible. Now, we also have interactive presentation templates, right? Lots of templates, build trust and credibility, explain and show your value, show your tech forward, stand out from the other agents, and set up your in-person meeting for success. And then we have the follow-up one as well. And these are some great testimonials. Katie Day at Real. She won 23 listings worth more than $11 million with High Note. And Dylan Hall, 23-year-old rookie agent. It was the absolute difference maker for a listing he won. He was competing against the number three agent in his city and beat him because of his high note. This agent said the seller canceled the other agent's appointments after spending 2.5 hours reviewing their high note pre-listing presentation. Imagine that. You can win before showing up, and that's what high note does. This older gentleman used it right out of the gate to snag a 2.25 million and a $590,000 listing right out of the gate. So easy, so simple to use. You got many more use cases, client updates, open house sign in, marketing or digital flyers, win offers with it, recruiting, closing docs or annual reviews. You are getting 10 tools in one. Deborah Blue from KW, having a platform like Highnote allows me to present every aspect of our communication from nurture to close. Winning offers, digital flyers, a great use case for Highnote. Welcome books. This is another use case that a lot of agents are using, welcoming them to the property. Agent to agent walkthroughs. Um, agents are building out high notes for other agents so that because they're not able, the agent maybe is not able to show the property to them in person. So what they do is they build one like this to highlight the features of it as well. But also this agent who's at EXP, Tom Tiller, I believe, and shows his sellers that this is what he does. And he wins listings with this because other agents are not doing um, as good of a job as he is with this sort of thing. And we have these templates available as well. Seller portal. A lot of agents are making seller portals with this, with Highnote as well. And it's a great use case to show everything you've done for the seller. Sales portfolio, update your sales portfolio, what you have for sale, what leases you have, what listings you've sold, what buyers you represented, and then you could put that in your bio, your email signature, or a link in bio for Instagram, etc. Neighborhood guides, make neighborhood guides with it. Lots of agents are doing this as well. Annual real estate reviews, if you're a Ninja fan or if you're just really believe in high touch service, following up with sellers after they bought a year later to give them an annual real estate review. And we have these great done for you templates. You don't need to lift a finger. We can help you build these. And we have a one-on-one meeting with you, fast turnaround, multiple template styles, unlimited edits, custom PDF editing. It's a little bit extra for that, but that's an hourly rate. And we give you a full Highnote tutorial how to win with Highnote. Not only that, you get the done for you service. If you pay for that service, right, is a guarantee that if you use these presentations and use Highnote as described, and if it doesn't help you win more buyers or listings, I will refund your money personally, guaranteed. And that's how much we believe in it. And we've had very, very few people taking this up on this. And it's just a game changer. But this is what Highnote costs. 39 a month or 33 a month if you pay annually, just $3.99 a year. It's nothing to help you win more listings and buyers. Unlimited everything. And we have a done for you presentation. It's $350 each one. We just had someone, I mean, agents are buying multiple ones. Chris just sold one to a Canadian brokerage or team or agent, four of them. They buy one for the pre-buyer, the post-buyer meeting, the pre-listing, and then the post-seller meeting, follow-up listing. Very simple and easy way to up your game or your team or your agents on your team and brokerage. Now, in summary, what we're going to tell you is that having a great presentation is a super easy way to win. And it's an easy way just because you just upgrade your presentations and you incorporate Highnote into your flow. Oh, we also have a special 20% savings. This code will expire It's only for this webinar, HN Web 2025. You could purchase right now on highnote.io/purchase. If you want to see more, you could sign up for a demo with Chris, who's on the call. Highnote.io/meet with Chris. Um, and I'm going to pause for questions uh, right now. But if there aren't any, we also have this free guide. So scan this and you get the guide for free. And how to win listings before your listing appointment, how to make sure your listing appointment is successful, and how to wow buyers before an appointment as well. Get this guide. Um, and yeah, that is it. Thank you so much. And give me some anyone questions. If not, we're gonna sign off and sign up with Chris to do a demo. And if you're interested or take advantage of our offer and purchase today, you need it to stay relevant in this game of real estate, which is super competitive. And yeah, I'm gonna pause for a second. And if there's any questions, yeah, we are also going to send the recording out of this webinar to everyone. And we have again, we have lots of templates, lots of great use cases. It's what agents are doing today to be top agents and what top agents are ready to do. They stand out and they look good. And think about it this way, you are a sales professional. So you need the best sales presentation and you need the best tool out there, and that's High Note. And thank you, Casey. And yeah, if there's any other questions, we're gonna sign off and let us know in the comments what you think. And awesome, Rebecca. We hope to see you as a customer if you're not already. And thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Elizabeth. Awesome. Great to see everyone here. Happy selling, and let's get through this fall. And I know you're gonna crush it. Thanks, everyone.